Asus announced the Zenfone 3 Zoom, a phone that is built for photography. It has a 12 times total zoom on the camera. It also has a 59mm focal length on the main lens, and it also has portrait mode like the iPhone 7 Plus. It has the Sony IMX362 sensor. It has an f1.7 aperture, which is very wide, and it also uses Asus's super pixel technology, which makes it very good for low light pictures. It has 10 times the light sensitivity of the industry standard and 2.5 times the light sensitivity of the iPhone 7 Plus. It also uses Asus's Tritech autofocus system, which uses 3 different forms of autofocus: laser autofocus, continuous autofocus, and the fastest one, dual pixel autofocus. So here is a comparison of traditional autofocus and dual pixel autofocus. So it has 2 times the light sensitivity on the front-facing camera with the Sony IMX214, an f2.0 aperture, super pixel technology, and 13 megapixels wide angle. It also has professional photography with the manual mode that can control shutter speed, EV, ISO, and white balance settings. It has RAW support, and it also has a manual lens selection of 59mm or 25mm. It has a giant 5,000 milliamp hour battery that can last 6.4 hours if you're recording 4K UHD, can last 42 days on standby, and it can last 8.5 hours when you're streaming social media. This is the world's thinnest and lightest 5.5-inch phone with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. It is 7.99 millimeters thin, and it is 170 grams. So that's the Zenfone 3 Zoom, and it's coming out in February. So the Zenfone AR is a phone built for augmented reality, and it uses the Asus Tricam system. It has a camera for motion tracking, area learning, and one for depth perception. And it is also ready for Daydream with its 1440p 5.7-inch display that takes up 79% of the front of the phone. It has a Snapdragon 821 optimized for Tango. It has 8 GB of RAM and Asus's vapor cooling system. And Nvidia announced the GeForce Now, which can let any computer play Steam games whether or not it's a gaming PC over the cloud. They announced the new Shield, which can have 4K HDR, and it also has Google Assistant. But this isn't regular Google Assistant. Using the Nvidia Spot, which is a very small microphone/speaker that you can plug into any outlet, you can use the Google Assistant anywhere in the house. So this will cost $199, and they also announced the Xavier AI car supercomputer. So uses an 8-core CPU, a 512-core GPU, can perform 30 trillion operations every second, and it can using the car's camera, it can identify what different things are and react to them based on that. They also have Nvidia AI Copilot, which is when the car cannot drive on its own because it is not confident enough in that area, and you have to drive. It can point out things like if there is a bicycle on the right, or like careful, there is someone on a motorcycle approaching. It can give you warnings while you're driving, and it also can see you inside the car, recognize your face, track your head, and even track your gaze, so that it can see where you're looking. And it even has lip reading for if it's very loud in the car and you were saying something important, but it can hear. So Bosch has partnered with Nvidia, so has Audi, and they will be making making self-driving cars by 2020. Asus